Welcome to our second session of Managing Strategy Resources and Operation. My name is Dr. Reza Akbari and I'm the subject coordinator of this unit. In this session, we're going to talk about process selection, goods and services design, and improvement. By the end of this session, you will be able to describe the four types of processes used to produce goods and services, describe how to apply process mapping for process design, explain the concept of mistake proofing in process and product design for both goods and services, and also you can explain how to improve process design using process maps. We do have three types of goods and services. The first one is make to order, or we call it custom as well, is the production strategy where products are manufactured or assembled based on a specific customer order. Instead of producing goods in advance and keeping them in stock, company using the make to order approach start the manufacturing process only after receiving an order from the customer. The products are then tailored or customized according to customers' specific requirement. The next type of goods or services that we have is called assemble to order, or it's like an option. Is a production strategy where products are partially manufactured in advance and the final assembly is completed based on specific customer orders. Unlike make to order, where each product is made from scratch, ATO or assemble to order allows for the customization of finished goods by selecting pre-manufactured components or sub-assemblies. The next one is called made to stock or a standard process. Is a production strategy where products are manufactured or produced in advance based on anticipating demand without a specific customer order. The finished goods are then kept in inventory until customer order are received. A good example of this is like, for example, water bottles. When we're talking about designing goods and services, there are six steps that we need to look into. Step one and two is a strategic mission analysis and company priorities. In this step, the company defines its strategic mission, which includes its overall purpose, values, and long-term goals. The analysis involves assessing internal and external factors that may impact the design of goods and services. Company priorities are established to ensure that the design aligns with the company's mission and vision and to gain a competitive advantage in the market. The third step, looking into customer benefit package design and configurations. This step focuses on understanding a customer need and designing a customer benefit package that delivers value to the target market. So this CBP includes the core product or services as well as any additional features, benefits, or support services that enhance the overall customer experience. Configurations involve determining specific combinations of features, options, and services to meet various customer segments' requirements. The next step, looking into detailed goods, services, and process design. In this step, the company develop a detailed design of goods, services, and processes necessary to deliver the previous step customer benefit package design. It involves a specify the product feature, technical specification, service level, and process flows. The design should consider factors such as quality, functionality, aesthetics, reliability, and cost effectiveness. And the next step, which is the fifth step, is a market introduction and deployment. Once the goods, service, and processes are designed, they are introduced into market. This step involves launching the products or services and market them available to customers through the various distribution channel. It may include activities such as setting up sales channel, training sales teams, and implementing marketing campaign to generate awareness and drive demand. And the last step is marketplace evaluation. After the market introduction, it is important to evaluate the performance of goods and services in the marketplace. This step involves monitoring customer feedback, analyzing sales and market share data, and assessing the overall customer satisfaction and perception. The evaluation helps identify any necessary adjustment or improvement to meet customer expectation and stay competitiveness in the market. This step provides a basic structure approach to designing goods and services that are aligned with the company's mission, meet customer needs, and drive business success. It ensures a systematic and customer centric approach to product and service deployment. Building the house of quality is a key component of quality function deployment methodology, which is used to translate customer requirement into specific design characteristics for a product or service. The house of quality is a visual tool that helps capture and prioritize customer requirements and align them with technical specification. Let's go through these steps that involve. Determine customer requirement through the voice of customer. In this step, company gathers customer feedback and identifies the need, desire, and expectations regarding the product or service. This can be done through surveys, interview, focus group, and other methods to collect the voice of the customer. Then we define the technical requirements of the product. Based on the customer requirement that identified in the previous step, the company defines the technical specification or characteristics that the product service should post to meet those requirements. These technical requirements are typically related to performance features, dimensions, materials, and other engineering aspects. Then we need to determine interrelationship between the technical requirements. This step involves understanding the relationship and dependency between different technical requirements. Some technical requirements may be interrelated or influenced by others. For example, improving one technical requirement might have an impact to another requirement. The next step, we're looking into relationship matrix to define what technical requirements satisfy the voice of the customer. The relationship matrix, also known as a house of quality, is created to visually represent the interrelationship between customer requirements and technical specification. It is typically presented as a matrix where customer requirements are listed on one side and technical requirements are listed on another side. The matrix shows the strength of the relationship between two sets of requirements using symbols or numeric values. Next one, we're looking into the customer priorities and competitive evaluation helps select which VOC, voice of the customer requirements, that the product should focus on. In this step, customer prioritize are assigned to each customer requirement to reflect their relative importance. This helps the company determine which requirement should be given higher priority during the design process. By following this step, the House of Quality enabled the company to prioritize customer requirements, identify the most critical technical specification, and guide the design process to ensure the final product or goods or service meet the customer expectation. It provides a structured approach to translating customer need into the design characteristics and help align the organization's effort towards customer satisfaction. Quality function deployment is a systematic approach and graphical tool used to capture and prioritize customer requirements and translate them into a specific plan or meet those needs. The House of Quality is a commonly used representation of the quality function deployment. Let's break down the different components of quality function deployment and the House of Quality. Left side, list customer requirements and their relative importance to target customers. The left side of the house of quality is represent the customer requirement which are identified through the voice of the customers. These requirements represent the need, expectation, desire of the customers. The customer requirements are typically listed in a hierarchical format with the most general requirements at the top and the more specific requirement below. The relative importance of each requirement is also determined to prioritize them based on the customer preferences. Along the top is a list of specific product characteristics The top portion of the house of quality lists the specific product characteristics or design features that are relative or relevant to meeting the customer requirements. These characteristics are typically determined through the engineering and design process. Example of product characteristic could be performance metrics, dimensions, material, functionality, reliability, and other attributes. Then we have the main body. Show how each of the product characteristic does or does not support the customer requirement. The main body of the house of quality depicts the relationship between the customer requirements and the product's characteristics. It consists of matrix or grid that illustrates how each product characteristic related to each customer requirement. This matrix helps determine the degree to which each product characteristic satisfies the corresponding customer requirements. Then in this house we have a roof as well, show synergies between some of those features. So the roof of the house of quality represents the synergies or the correlation between different product characteristics. It highlights how certain features may interact with or influence each other. This information helped the design team identify trade-offs or dependencies among the product characteristics and make informed decisions during the design process. So the House of Quality serve as visual tools that enable cross-functional teams to understand customer needs and requirements, align product characteristics with those needs, and prioritize design efforts. It facilitates communication and collaboration between different departments and stakeholders involved in the development. By using the House of Quality and QFD, organization can enhance customer satisfaction, improve product design, and increase the likelihood of meeting customer expectation.
So the first thing we need to cover is what is process or what's the meaning of a process. It's basically a set of logical related tasks or activities performed to achieve a defined business outcome. We do have different processes like primary processes, supporting processes, and development processes. Primary process is a process that addresses the main value added activities of an organization. Support process is process that performs necessary even if not a value added activities, and development process is a process to seek to improve the performance of the primary and support processes. You can see in the big picture also we have different for primary processes where they are, support processes what are they, and also development processes as well.
Let's have a look at the different types of goods and services producing processes. The first one is project. Projects are large scale initiatives that involve the execution of various tasks and activities to achieve a specific objective within a defined time frame and budget. They are characterized by their unique nature, large scale complexity, and need for coordination among different stakeholders and resources. Here are some of the key characteristics of the project. One of a kind. Projects are unique endeavors that are different from routine operations or ongoing activities. Then we have large scale. Projects typically involve significant scope and scale, requiring substantial resources such as personnel, equipment, and finance. They often span across multiple department, organization, and geographic location. Complex or complexity. Projects are often complex in nature, involving numerous interrelated tasks, dependencies, and constraints. They require careful planning and coordinations and management to ensure successful executions. Then we're looking into resources brought to the site. Project often required specific resources to be brought together at a designed or a designated location or site. This may include physical resources such as machineries or materials, as well as human resources with specific skills and expertise. Wide variation specifications or task projects can involve a wide range of specification required or tasks. Each project may have unique deliverables, goals, and milestones that need to meet. Project management methodology and frameworks such as project management body of knowledge, BOK, or Prince2 provide a structured approach for initiating planning, executing, monitoring, and controlling their projects. Example projects can be including constructing a building, developing new um, software. You can see building a new boat or ship, or even a plane. So these are a good example of project. The next type is job shop processes. So job shop processes are a type of manufacturing or production system that is organized around general purpose equipment capable of customizing work for individual customers. Here are some of the characteristics. So it's flexible and customization. So job shops processes are highly flexible and capable of customizing work according to individual customer expectations or specifications. Significant setup or changeover time. Job shops typically require considerable setup time or changeover time between different jobs or tasks. This is because equipment need to be adjusted, reconfigured, or even retooled to accommodate the specific requirement of each job. Low to moderate volume job shop processes are suitable for low to moderate volume productions that are typically not designed for high volume continuous production like assembly lines or mass production system. Batching small to large scale jobs. Job shop processes often involve batching similar or related jobs together to improve efficiency. This allows for better utilization of resources and equipment. Many processes routes with some repetitive steps. Job shops processes involve multiple processes routes or paths that products or components follow through the production system. While there may be some repetitive steps or processes shared across different jobs, the overall sequence of operation can be varied significantly based on the individual requirements, customer requirements. Customized design to customer specifications. So job shops excel in producing customized or make-to-order products. The design and production system are tailored to meet the customers or those specific requirements. Many different products. Job shop handle a wide variety of products or projects, often across different industries. They are capable of producing diverse items, range from small to parts to complex assemblies based on unique demands of each customers. High workforce skills. Job shop process require a skilled workforce capable of operating and setting up the general purpose equipment to meet the varied demand of the different jobs. Workers in job shops often possess a specialized skills and knowledge to handle the customization and complexity of the tasks. Flowchart processes are a type of manufacturing or product system that is organized around a fixed sequence of activities and process steps. These are some of the characteristics of the flowchart processes. Fixed sequence of activities. So flowchart processes follow a predetermined and unchanging sequence of activities or processes steps. Each task operations is performed in a specific order and the flow of the works moves from one step to the next without deviation. Limited variety of similar goods or services for shop process are typically dedicated to producing a limited variety of goods and services that are highly similar in nature. Observed in assembly line, flow processes are commonly observed in assembly line setup where products move along a linear path from one worker station to another. Each worker station is specialized in performing specific tasks or operations, and the products progressively undergo the required step until it's completed. Little or no setup changeover time. In flowchart process, there's a minimal or no setup or changeover time required between different task operations. The production system is designed for efficient and continuous flow where the equipment, tools, and resources are dedicated to a specific task. Similar sequence or process step, the sequence of the process step remain consistent and repetitive throughout the production system. And also the flowchart processes typically associated with the moderate to high volume production. The assembly line setup and efficient flow enable higher production rates and output compared to job shop or batch production system. So flowchart processes prioritize efficiency, consistency, and high throughput. They are suitable for situations where standardized or limited range of products or services is produced at relatively high volume. Examples can be automobile assembly lines, electronic manufacturing, food processing, mass production of consumer goods. By organizing the production system around a fixed sequence of activities, flowchart processes optimize resource utilization, minimize bottlenecks, and promote continuous flow. The focus is on achieving the high productivity and reducing cycle time and maintaining a consistent quality level through the process. Continuous flow processes are a type of manufacturing or production system where highly standardized goods or services are produced continuously and in very high volume. Here are some of the characteristics of these continuous flow processes. These processes are dedicated to producing goods or services that are highly standardized and uniform in nature. These processes are designed for high volume production. The goods or services move through the production system in a fixed processing sequence. Unlike other manufacturing processes, continuous flow processes typically involve the production of goods or services that are not made from discrete parts or components. The output is often a continuous stream of materials or continuous service delivery. So these processes also require significant investment in specialized equipment and facilities. The production system is designed to operate continuously with high level of automation, efficiency, and reliability. Also, these processes are often dedicated to producing a limited range of goods or services. The focus is on achieving economies of scale through mass production of a standardized product or service. Also, these processes involve automated movement of goods or information between different processes steps. This automation ensures smooth and efficient flow through the production system, minimizing delays and bottlenecks. And we're talking about 24 hours a day, 7 days with continuous operation, where this process is basically meant to be. The goal is to maximize production output and efficiency by utilizing the production system and its full potential without significant downtime. So by focusing on standardized and high volume production, continuous flow process aim to achieve economics of a scale, reduce unit costs, and meet a demand of a mass market efficiently. The emphasis is maximizing production throughout, minimizing the waste, and ensuring consistent quality and efficiency. Product life cycle is a concept that describes the stage a product goes through from its introduction to its eventual decline and potential turnaround. It provides a framework for understanding the evolution of a product in the marketplace and help guide the strategic decision making. There are four stages. One is introduction, is a stage there is the initial phase when a new product is launched into a market. During this stage, this is typically low customer awareness, limited disruptions, and sales are initially low. Then we reach to growth. Growth is a stage of characterized by increasing customer acceptance, grow sales, and expanding market share. As awareness and demand for product increase, competitors may enter the market. Companies may aim for capitalize on the growth opportunity by expanding distribution, investing in new markets, promotions, improving product efficiency. Then we have maturity, is the phase when the product reaches peak level of market penetration and sales. Competition is usually intense and market saturations may happen. Companies focus on maintaining market share, enhancing product differentiation, and extending the product life cycle through product enhancement or variation. And lastly is decline and turnaround. This is the stage that characterized by decline in sale, market share, and profitability. This can happen due to various factors such as changing consumer preferences, technological advancement, or the emergence of superior alternative. It is important to note that the length of each stage in product life cycle can vary significantly depending on factors such as industry, market conditions, and the nature of the product. Understanding the product life cycle help businesses make informed decisions regarding product development, market strategy, pricing, and resource allocation at each stage. It also highlights the need for ongoing innovation and adapting to remain competitive and extend the product life cycle.
It's very important to visualize those processes, or we call it mapping. It's graphical representation of organization relationships and activities that make up the businesses. So the purpose of mapping is create a common understanding of the content of the process, like the activities, result, and who performs at the various stage, define the boundaries of the process, and also provide baseline against which to measure the impact of improvement effort. So basically, a process map is a detailed map to identify some specific activities that make up the informational or physical, monetary flow of the process. You can see in this picture, for example, is a process of human resource management. So new position required, required a new person, yes or no. So you can see we actually try to put some lines and how the process goes through is the answer yes or no, some decision making, and if it goes yes, what are the consequences? If it goes no, what are the steps that we need to do to complete this process? And it goes on and on till end. That, for example, in HR management, they try to hire a new person at the end. And it's very important that we try to identify what type of process it is. If it's none of this type of process that we're going to talk about in this couple of slides, then we need to identify, all right, this process necessary to have? So one of the main process is identity process, which is defined organization for itself, its customers, its investors. Identity process differentiate the organization from the competitors and also are at the heart of its success. Another important process is the priority processes that technically they are the engine room of organizational success. It strongly influence how well the identity process are carried out and how the firm stand relative to competitors. Now, the next one is background processes, which are necessary to support daily operations. Many administration and overhead function are considered as background processes. And the last one is mandated processes to carry out only because the organization is legally required to do those processes. So these were the four main processes that we need to know. So this is how it works. So first we see if the process is identity. If it's yes, then that's fine. If it's no, next question. Is it a priority process? If it's yes, that's fine. If it's no, we go to next. Is it a background or is it mandated? If it's none of these, we really need to looking into, all right, is this process necessary or do we need to keep this process or we need to abandon this, right? So it's very important that we identify what type of process we are dealing with. Let's have a look at an example, right? So this is a warehouse, for example. There's a process activities going on. For example, dealers submit an order to a distribution center, which is automatically printed on the copier. One out of 25 orders are lost because the copier jams or something. Printer order sits in an inbox for around 2 hours between 0 to 4 until internal mail picks to pick it up. Internal mail takes about 1 hour on average to deliver the order to the picking area. 1 out of 100 get wrong place. Order sits in the clicks inbox until it is processed around 2 hours, 0 to 2 hours, average 1 hour, processing time takes 5 minutes. If item is in stock, worker pick it up, average around 10 to 24 minutes. Inspector takes 2 minutes to check. Still, 1 out of 200 orders are completely incorrect. Transportation from delivery around 2 hours in average. And if item is out of stock, the clerk notifies the dealer and pass the order along to the plant while arranging the special shipments and everything. Now we can actually develop a process map for it to make things much more easier. Definitely visualization help us to see things much more clear and also easier to identify issues. So you can see we put it into a map, and by doing that we can identify those issues around this process. By doing the process map, we can identify issues and we can look into as an operation management manager, for example, how we can solve this or what is our opinion about it. For example, here, average time between ordering and delivering for a stock is about 6.5 hours, can be as long as 11.5 hours. If an item is not in stock, it can even take longer. Around 6.5 hours an order spent on average in process, and a full 3 hours is a waiting time. 5% of the orders are lost before they even get to the picking area. For the orders to do survive to this point, 1 out of 200 will be shipped with incorrect item or quantity. So, as an operation manager, is this correct? Or how we can improve this? So you can see by visualizing the process, we manage to identify these issues that we can solve. Also, you can see in this picture as well, we need to put some swim lane process map in place where technically the user can see who is responsible for each of those steps. So for example, in a hiring process example, we have the swim line between candidate and firm, and then from the firm we have recruiter, we have interviewer, so you can see everybody's responsibility within these processes.
Under process analysis and improvement, there are strategies to improve process design, which are focusing on usually increasing revenue, agility, and product or service quality, and also decreasing the cost, process flow time, and carbon footprint. Then we have reengineering, which fundamentally rethinking and radical redesign of the business process help to achieve improvement in critical and contemporary measure of performance such as cost, quality, service, and speed.
Benchmarking is a process of comparing an organization product, services, or processes against best practices from other organizations in the same or similar industry. The goal of benchmarking is to identify areas for improvement and to establish performance targets that will enable the organization to achieve best in class performance. There are different types of benchmarking, including process benchmarking. This type of benchmarking involves comparing the organization's processes to those of other organizations that are recognized as best in class in that area. This can help identify opportunities to improve efficiency, reduce waste, and improve quality. The second one is a strategy benchmarking. This type of benchmarking involves comparing the organization's strategic goals and objectives to those of other organizations in the same industry. This can help identify opportunities to improve the organization's competitive position, market share, and profitability. And last one is performance benchmarking. This type of benchmarking involves comparing the organization performance against other organizations in the same industry using key performance indicators KPIs such as revenue growth, profitability, customer satisfaction, and employee productivity. This can help identify areas where the organization is underperforming and provide a basis for setting performance targets that will enable the organization to improve its competitive positions.
In conclusion, goods and services can be categorized as custom based, option based, or standard based, depending on level of customization and flexibility offered to customers. The product life cycle can provide a framework to understand the stage a product goes through from introduction to decline and potential turnaround. Recognizing where a product is in its life cycle helps inform decision related to process design and choice. Process design activities play a crucial role in optimizing the performance of the business. They involve analyzing and redesigning existing processes to improve efficiency, productivity, quality, and customer satisfaction. Understanding the product lifecycle is essential in process design as it impacts the strategies and consideration at each stage. During the introduction and growth stage, process design should focus on scalability, flexibility, and meeting evolving customer demands. In maturity stage, process design aims to maintain efficiency, reduce cost, and sustain product differentiation. And at the last stage, which is the decline stage, process redesign may be necessary to revitalize the product and efficiency phase it out. By aligning process design with the specific stage of the product lifecycle, business can adapt to market dynamic, optimize resource allocation, improve customer satisfaction, and maximize the overall performance. Continuous evaluation and redesign of processes are essential for staying competitive in dynamic business environment. And this is the end of this session. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I wish you all the best and good luck.